Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jay. Let's talk a little Kapital today. Now if you know me, you will know my absolute favorite brand of all time is Kapital. Now Kapital is a brand out of Japan that specializes in that kind of artisanal Americana streetwear style that Japan is so well known for. Now what I think could be fun is to go over the items that I've personally purchased, whether it be from an actual Kapital store in Japan, from Greld, Depop, or from a notable reseller. And I'll try to highlight whoever it is that I purchased these items from. And who knows, maybe you'll see something today that sparks a little inspiration, or something that you've seen online before that maybe you wanted to see what does that look like in person. Hopefully I can be that for you. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first piece that I have here is going to be these Kapital track pants. What I love about these is the fit, first off. They really remind me a lot of that Needles style, right? I mean, they're so similar in so many different ways. This is actually one of the items that I get asked about the most when I'm in public. And I think it's primarily about the fit, because these actually give a much baggier silhouette. There's actually two different versions of these, similar to Needles, where you do have that baggier, wider fit, and then you have that more fitted, slimmer fit. These actually come in the same styles. I got the baggier ones, and I actually love these. I think that these are a pant that you can wear dressed down, obviously, but there's actually a lot of ways you could dress this up. I think they're versatile, obviously they're comfortable, and a stylish piece if you're looking to make a statement. Now, second pair of pants that I've purchased, and I've only purchased two. I actually got these on my last Japan trip in fall 2025. But they are these kind of carpentry pants with double, make it triple knee, if you will. I don't know if you can see that there. I absolutely love these. Transparently, the only thing that I don't love about them is they are pretty high-waisted, or if you're wearing them on your waist in the way that you would think that you should, they kind of give you diaper ass. So more often than not, I will roll these up just once, just to keep them on my waist in the way that's comfortable, so they're not tucked above my belly button, and obviously in a way that I think looks flattering on me. But I think these are super versatile, obviously. Carpenter pants, it's just more or less a different take on the Carhartts that are probably already in all of our closets. So nothing too exciting, but a good piece that you can wear year-round. A good, easy purchase. Now, let's get to tops. Now, I actually only own one short sleeve shirt. I'm coming to find, especially in Southern California, it's just more often than not, while it is warm, it's never so warm that I can't wear a long sleeve. And truth be told, I love a long sleeve, whether it's a sweatshirt, a long sleeve t-shirt, whatever that might be. So I do have a single t-shirt. It's actually going to be this kind of army green pocket tee, as you will see here. This is actually my favorite color. If you went into my closet, take away Kapital as a brand, whatever that might be, you're probably gonna find a fourth of my clothes is in this color. But I do genuinely love that kind of army green color. Obviously super easy to wear, whether it's as a layered shirt or on its own. A couple different ways you can wear this. I love that it has that kind of drop shoulder with the longer sleeve, because I can often, especially if I wear it by itself, I'll roll that up. If I layer it, I tend to keep that one down, wear it a little bit baggier. A very thick t-shirt that's just easy to wear year round. Now, we'll get into the long sleeves. This is what I'm gonna have the majority of. So the first two items that I have here are both gonna be long sleeve waffle shirts. Again, nothing super exciting, primarily used for layering, but these are very good quality. I love that these are actually really warm whenever I wear them, but breathable. They're not overly cropped, which I actually appreciate. I feel like it gives a good fit. This was another purchase that I got in Japan in my last trip, and one that honestly you'll probably see in half of my pictures, because I ultimately just layered it with whatever jacket, sweatshirt that I was wearing that day. The other waffle that you'll see here is a little bit more fun. I got this one in Japan in 2024, I think spring of 2024. Same style, white. This one is a little more cropped, so it does come up maybe about an inch higher than the other. But I just love the sleeve details. Are you kidding me? This is what I love about the brand. That kind of meme-all, artisanal look. That's what Kapital's about. That's why I buy from them. I love it. It stands out. You get asked about it without being too in your face, which I love. All right, next. Not as exciting, but has its quirks. I've got this long sleeve white t-shirt here. Now, the thing that made me buy this, honestly, was this little side pocket. You'll see it here. Just something that stands out. It's a pocket that goes from the front to the back, so it does just kind of go along your side here. Obviously, I'm not using it. There's no reason to put something in that pocket. If I put my phone in there or whatever, you know, it's weighing it down in a really unflattering way, but it's something that differentiates you just a little bit from the crowd. So really like that one. Honestly, I kind of forget that I have it more often than not. Whenever I'm skimming through my clothes, I tend to just like lump that in with any other long sleeve white t-shirt that I have. So whenever I do want to stand out a little bit while still trying to keep it a little low profile, it's actually a really good go-to. And I bought this one actually at the same time that I bought the last waffle tee with the floral pattern on the sleeves. Next, this one was an online purchase. This one is a long sleeve denim button up. Now honestly, I have a love-hate relationship with this shirt. I love the details. The details are what drew me to this. Whenever I saw it online, I was like, yes. There's so many little details on this. Here's the collar. Again, Meemaw core, right? You have this on the collar. You can see it down on the bottom. You have the same kind of quilting that's all hand stitched on there. Same thing here on the pocket. If you can see it, I know it's trying to focus on me. But so many little fine, really nice stitching details. Now, what I hate about this is the fit. It fits far too long, in my opinion. I think the best use that I've gotten out of it is to really treat it like a jacket, more or less. Wear something fitted underneath, let it just drape. But I think that it fits too long for something that also feels kind of fitted on my body. So it's like it's narrow and long, which I don't really love. So yeah, a little bit of a love-hate relationship there. Like I said, I purchased that one online. It actually was on sale, so I'm glad that I didn't pay like full price. Viable to wear, not necessarily something I'm just itching to wear all the time. This one is a recent purchase. I also got this one. You'll probably see a lot of the items I got, honestly, were on my last trip. We went a little overboard. Des bought about as much from Capital as I did, honestly. But this one, pretty simple, right? Just a nice plaid shirt. I think it has a really nice silhouette, personally, and it has this double zip, which makes it just a little more versatile to wear. I tend to wear that second zip a little bit higher, top zip a little bit lower, and just kind of play around with a tuck shirt, whatever that might look like. Just a little bit different than some of the other plaid shirts that you're gonna see out there. Again, has something that stands out. One thing that's probably obvious is that I love something that has a fresh detail to it, but doesn't necessarily have to stand out too vibrantly. I do have a few things, and we're getting to them, that do stand out a little bit more than these items, but I do like something that just has a small minor detail that's different than what everybody around me is wearing and might spark up a little bit of a conversation with somebody who's interested. Next, this was also a purchase from my recent Japan trip. Yeah, this one was from 2025. This was from the fall. You may see this on stores like COJP Gallery or Canoe Club. I think there's a lot of people who are selling these currently. Just a nice collegiate style crew neck sweatshirt. What I will say is that this is probably my most worn current item that I own from Capital. It's very comfortable. It's heavy in the right ways, again, while still being breathable. It's fun. It's got these two little, what are these, longhorns? Des actually thought that these were dragons for some reason, but I don't see it. They very clearly look like longhorns to me. She also wears glasses and I don't, so joke's on her. I love the color, this kind of California red that Capital's done a few things in. They have pants, they also have jackets in the same color. Very easy to wear with black pants, blue jeans. It's a dress down, but still a very comfortable fit. Really getting some good use out of this one. Now I'm probably just gonna go ahead and spoil this as far as my top 5. I'd say this is probably my favorite item that I own from Capital. I actually wore this in my first video on YouTube that I did last week. So if you haven't seen that already, please go and check it out. Just a day in the life with this one and my other dog. But This is my absolute favorite thing. I will wear this a minimum of 1 time per week. This is probably the item that I get the literal most compliments on. And I think it's just because it's unique enough, and again, it stands out in a way that's fun, artisanal. It looks a little DIY. And so yeah, more often than not, folks are asking me about this, but it's one of Kapital's crew neck sweatshirts. On the front, this kind of beigey cream, whatever this color is, however it shows up for you on the camera. On the back, there's just all of these different quilted patterns that I just absolutely love. There's something about, again, that Meemaw core that really gets it for me. I absolutely love this thing. Number 1 all-time Kapital purchase, and it was actually a gift from my wife. It was one of my first few things that I ever got from Kapital, and thank you, baby. I still love it. Big fan. Okay, next. One that I'm honestly not a huge fan of. So this is the exact same sweatshirt that I just showed you. This one is in a, I have a hard time explaining this color. I want to say charcoal and I want to say green at the same time. So I'm not quite sure what you would call this. I'm sure there's a color out there. If you know the color, throw it in the comments. I'll love you forever. But the exact same sweatshirt that I just had, only obviously no font on the back. I got a really good deal on this on, I want to say Depop, maybe Grailed, I don't know. The problem is it's not that comfortable, truth be told. The other one actually feels better. They're definitely different blends. It just feels too heavy for me to wear regularly. And low-key, I kind of feel like the color just reminds me of like Dookie. I don't know. This one just doesn't really do it for me. But they can't all be winners. Now I'm gonna get into jackets, and then I'll go into just more miscellaneous. The first item that I have here, I love, by the way, and my wife actually talked me into this, but it is this blue cardigan that has hand-stitched embroidery all over it. So you'll see there's a cat here chasing a mouse. On the back, there's a little cat with an angel's halo. I don't know if it died, what the story is. Over here, we've got a black crow. On the pockets, there's a floral pattern, little mama cat, little baby cat. You can see around the edges, just the different hand-stitched threads that are used. Honestly, I'm terrified to ever wash this, but huge pickup. So thankful that I didn't listen to my gut and that I instead listened to my wife. I find any and every reason that I can to wear this item. I love this. You will likely see it on me in plenty of other videos. All right. Next, we have a jacket that I love. I am also kind of terrified to wear it because it stands out a lot. Anytime that I do wear it, honestly, I get like quite a few questions about it, but sometimes people just kind of look at me like, huh? And it's almost an interactive style item that you don't really want to have to take off and like show people, and people want to see that. So I don't know, maybe I hate the attention and I don't really want to wear it because I'm terrified of people talking to me in public. I don't know. I think I'm autistic. I think we're all a little autistic. But it's going to be this Kapital souvenir pillow sleeve jacket. Now, if you just heard all those words together and you're like, what? Don't worry, I think most sane people would. What's cool about these jackets is that each of the 2 sleeves has half of a pillow on them. They are embroidered. They have this kind of piping around the edge of it. On this side, you'll see it says beautiful. And on this side, you'll see it says Texas with the state and just a few towns or cities in the state. Some embroidered animals, items, mountains, and such. First off, I think this is like extremely cool. Okay, so like I said, there's 2 halves of a pillow on each sleeve. What gets me hung up is that more often than not, when people ask me about this, people also want to see the interactive side, which is, hey, could you show me the pillow transformation? And I just don't want to be like in the middle of the mall, taking off my jacket, unzipping it, and doing this whole pillowification. And I just don't want to be doing that. So if you see me in public around the San Diego area and you see me with this jacket, do me a favor, don't talk to me. moving on. Next jacket that I have here is one of my favorites to wear. I feel like this is my go-to anytime we go to a concert show. It is this skull printed kind of cropped jacket. Now these aren't full sleeves, as you can see. It's a very drop shoulder jacket. Very heavy cotton as well, that I think actually has just a really nice drape to it. The skeleton thing's a little overplayed, but if I can get past that, I actually really love this jacket. You'll see the hood strings are massive. Again, something else that Kapital's known for with their hoodies. They've got quite a few of these, kind of like surfer style hoodie that they've made recently. I love it. I think it's fun. It's unique. It stands out without being too crazy. They do actually make the same exact jacket in just more neutral colors that you can buy, and I've considered that. There was a couple of them that I saw on our last Japan trip that I low-key kind of wish that I would have at least pulled the trigger on one of those. I also forgot to mention, I bought the last two items, both of those jackets, on COJP Gallery. Huge shout out to them. They're based out of, I believe, Kyoto. Everything ships from Kyoto. I actually see a lot of people question the authenticity in the Reddit. I can guarantee it. They're very authentic. They're fantastic at shipping as well. No joke, the skeleton jacket I ordered on a Tuesday night at like midnight Pacific time. They shipped it out the next day and I received it on Thursday by noon, which is insane. Like, you're not getting that kind of shipping in the US from state to state, much less coming from Kyoto to San Diego. So huge shout out to those guys. I know that they had to raise their prices a little bit because of the tariffs, so you will see some price increases there. But seriously, if you see items that you really like and you see them pop up as a source to purchase those, 100% use them. They're fantastic. Anything that I've purchased from a reseller has come from them. On to the next one. So this next jacket that I got was another purchase on my recent trip in the fall. Super straightforward. Nothing too exciting about this. What I will say is, before I went and actually tried one of these on, I questioned how soft it was. I'm sure we've all had one of those fleece jackets or have touched, felt, whatever, one of those fleece jackets that probably looks very similar to this at some other store, and they've been that really kind of gritty, shitty feeling fleece. Not at all the case here. These are actually extremely soft. They're soft on the inside as well, which was the selling point for me. I love the details. Obviously the pattern's sick. They make this in plenty of other patterns. I'm sure you've seen plenty of them online, but huge fan. I can't vouch for the past styles that they've made. I have not tried those on. Sorry, you're gonna have to do your research. But at least for these newer ones, I can tell you right now, very great quality, really solid, really good feeling to them. 10 out of 10 recommend. What I will say is size up. I got this one in a 3. Most of my jackets and most of my clothes are in a 3. I'm 5'11", about 175, 180 pounds, and this one fits just snug enough to where I wish that I would have had a 4. I do tend to wear my clothes a little more oversized. So yeah, I wish that I would have gone with a 4 on this one. But for now, I haven't washed it. I'm terrified to wash it and have any kind of shrinkage. Right now it fits perfectly fine, but I do have to actually be a little more mindful whenever I wear this and what items I'm going to wear with it, because a lot of times some of my clothes may come down too far and it looks a little trashy. All right, last jacket that I've got here, and then I'll move on to some of those more miscellaneous items. This one was also a purchase from Fall 25. If you're seeing it, if you know the brand, you also know the jacket. This is one of Kapital's denim Boro jackets in a size 3. I got this one at the Nagoya store, actually on an impromptu trip over to Nagoya. Me and my wife did not have any plans to go there. We skipped right on through, as most people do, from Tokyo over to the Kyoto, Osaka area. And if you don't know where Nagoya is, it's basically in between, a little closer to that Kyoto side. I actually was trying to collect all of the kind of mainland coins that you can get at the Kapital stores. If you aren't aware, if you go up to the counter, ask them for a coin, they will give you one that's specific to that store. Each one has a different design. You can collect them all. It's like Pokemon. I knew I would hate myself if I got all of the other coins and didn't just go out of my way a little bit whenever I was staying in Kyoto to go ahead and grab the Nagoya one. So I took a little solo trip out there, chatted with the staff for a little bit. They actually were the nicest staff of any of the Kapital stores. You'll probably see a lot of the stores get a bad rap. These people were fantastic. Actually, Most people are fantastic at these stores. I would just recommend speak some Japanese. I by no means am fluent, but I've learned enough to ask things like, can I try this on? Do you have another size? How much is this? Even just learning those few phrases has been more than enough to open conversations up, to get people more comfortable trying to speak English with you. There's actually so much more opportunity with that store, with that brand, once you have some sort of established connection with them. So I highly recommend, ask if you can try it on in Japanese. Practice that before you go, because I promise you, you're going to get a lot more out of your trip. And that's what we did here. So chatted a little bit. They asked where I was from. And then the lady there actually had asked me, are you interested in any of the Boro items? Now, transparently, I'll probably get hate for this, but I actually think that people glaze up the Boro jackets way too much. Fellas on Reddit, chill. Okay, yes, it is a cool, unique item. With that said, there's plenty of other people who make Boro items and probably make it better than Kapital. With that said, it's a really cool piece. It's a badass statement piece, and that's why I wanted it. Whenever the lady asked me if I was interested, I actually told her the only ones that I like are the denim, and very specifically, I would only wear it in a size 4. And she goes, oh, hold on, and ran off. And one of the guys was like, we have. And so I was like, oh shit, okay. I knew I was buying it at that point. There was no way that I wasn't going to. And so here we are. Again, absolutely beautiful jacket. You'll see the inside lining is just beautiful. Such strong attention to detail. If you go to the back, you'll see the adjustable belt. All over is this beautiful sashiko style stitching. And again, they're a classic. These are timeless. Shout out to those people because they were badass. I loved all of the people in Nagoya. I will absolutely be coming back on my next trip in the summer and also in the fall of 2026 because we're addicted to Japan. First item that I have here is one of those ones that people ask about a lot, and it's mainly because I just use it. I have to pull it out a lot, but it is this Kapital black skeleton hand wallet. These actually released last year. I think they've done them in the past as well, so you'll see some on Grail, Depop, Poshmark. They're like an older style. You'll probably see them a lot more worn in. This was one of the newer ones. They released them in 3 different styles. This was the medium size. They also have a longer wallet, and they have a small, almost more or less coin purse. I'm pretty sure you can get some cards in there as well, but this one was a nice, good size. I will say I almost wish that I would have gone with a smaller one, only because this one's a little too big to fit in my back pocket or whatever, especially once you get all of your cards in there, change, cash, whatever. This one will really kind of weigh you down. More often than not, I am rocking some sort of a bag, so it's not that big of an issue because I have a bag. If you're somebody who does not carry a bag around though, I would definitely recommend going with the smallest size of these. That one will fit a whole lot better, and you should be able to fit probably anything that you need into it. What I really love about this, obviously, great quality. It's leather. The skeleton hand is also all leather. You'll actually see my little Kapital purchase card. You get these for every 5,000 yen or roughly $33. You will get a stamp. Once you fill it up, you get a little bit of money off, but it's literally 5,000 yen off, so you get $30. In my opinion, isn't really worth chasing. But we filled 2 of those cards up on our trip, so oops. What I really love about this though is that there's a built-in coin bag here. Here's the missing finger. If you notice, there was only 4 on the front. There is your thumb. But yeah, this is actually a little coin section. So especially whenever you're traveling in Japan, because their coins actually carry some weight to them as far as a currency goes, this is a really great place to keep all of that. I was able to put tons of coins in there with no issues at all. Love this thing. Next is something that I honestly don't get a whole lot of use out of. I have one of these Kapital watches, if you can see it there. And that's just because I don't really wear watches. I thought that maybe I would get more use out of this and I would force myself. I don't know what it is. Again, a little bit autistic is not actually an issue with the product itself because I think that these are sick. All right, I won't spend a whole lot of time on these, but I have a few Kapital bandanas. Really good quality, a good size. Des likes to wear these on her head. I do not do that, but I think it's always nice to have them. They're not overly expensive. I got these 2, as you'll see them. I got both of these on this last trip, I actually ordered this one recently on Grailed, I believe. It's upside down, but you get the gist. We have got a Native American kind of flying around on an eagle with umbrellas and colors. And I don't know, I think it's a couple more pieces and then we are done. This one's closed. I put it in miscellaneous, but these swim trunks are absolutely insane. Probably one of my favorite things that I own from them. These are stitched on, if you can see it. On the back, you also have the ass region of Mr. Skeleton Man. Super sick. I would say size up. These are actually a size 4. I wear usually like a 32, 33 waist. Those honestly like are a little tough to get on. There's not really a lot of stretch to them, so you do kind of pull them over the cheeks. But very sick shorts, love them. If I'm at the pool, I'm in them. And I also purchased those online at COJP Gallery. So again, check them out. Not sponsored, just genuinely appreciate the work that they do. All right, last thing that we have here. So the bag itself is not from Kapital. I want to call that out. I did purchase this in Japan in the fall. I got this at, let's see here, Journal Standard. That's right. Which is actually a really cool store, by the way. Just side rant. If you're in the Kyoto area, they may have other stores, so check it out. I'm sure there's something probably in Tokyo. I don't quite remember. I went to the Kyoto location. So if you're in the Kyoto area, they're actually really close to the Kapital store and all the other shops as well, right over there by the Nishiki Market. So there's a lot in that area, but they did carry a lot of really cool stuff. But I was looking for a bag that was more on that city boy kind of carrier bag style. Really love this one. It actually reminded me of the cracked leather Kapital goods. If you see them, they've done like duffel bags that are really sick. And so yeah, purchase this. But again, Journal Standard, not Kapital. But what is Kapital is this little pendant that I added to it. So the bag itself, I knew I would be carrying regularly, but I did want to add a little bit of flair to the bag, something that makes it stand out, something that's more me. So I did pick up one of these pendants. Kapital had maybe like 4 or 5 different options to choose from. So yeah, that's it. It felt like it would be more, but then as I'm talking, it feels like a lot at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense. There's such a good chance that I forgot about something because I do have little knickknacks and things hanging around. However, that's the majority of it at the absolute very least. As you can tell, very big fan of the brand. I know that they've gone through purchases from LV and people have feelings about that. I still think that what they're doing is a lot of fun. They keep their items fresh. They're always putting new stuff out. Their stores feel like you're walking into a museum or like an art piece. Like there's so much fun. It's just a brand that I myself can really get behind. All right, that is it. If you stayed till the end, I just want to say you're a real one. Whether you're somebody who's already experienced with Kapital and maybe you're just looking for some examples online so you can see some of those pieces, or maybe you're just interested in some of those different avenues that you can purchase Kapital in the States, or if you're somebody who doesn't know the brand whatsoever and you just think that they're an interesting brand after listening to this, I hope I could be a little inspiration for you. As always, I really appreciate you being here. If you like the content, please feel free to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. I'd love to interact with you. Let me know. Is there other videos like this that you'd like to see? This is my first time ever doing something like this, so I really appreciate you being my guinea pig. I hope everybody has a great week. I'll see you next week. Bye.